I'm Siobhan Pearson and I'm here today at the Studio Below in Liverpool to talk about the upcoming production Passing Moustache, written by Ted Gray. Joining me today, I've got the director Merv Jones and I've also got two cast members, Michelle Phillips and Terence Caddick. Hi everybody.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. Merv, I'll come to you first. Can you tell me what the play's about? There's a lot of speculation.
Oh, well, without giving too much away, because there might be a red dot suddenly on my chest and I'll be blown away for giving out secrets. But in a nutshell, I will say this. It's a story or stories of how several people are either affected or deal with or are challenged by the notion of change in their lives. And if not in their lives, maybe in somebody else's lives, but it happens, and it's happening in somebody else's life, that it's happening in your life, if you know what I'm saying. Bunch of interconnecting stories. Don't want to give too much away, but what the play does do, well, the script at least, it asks a lot of questions about who we are, who's other people in our lives, how we respond to certain situations, etc. Sometimes we let things bubble away for too long, sometimes not enough. And primarily, like I say, it raises a lot of questions about identity, about about how we are as humans, how our neurodiversity, for example, responds with other people and dealing with their own sort of issues. It's gender, sexuality, like I said, a lot of identity in there, and it's fresh and it's new and it's dare I say a rare word these days. It's original.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about it. Mm-hmm. It's exciting. How many cast members are in it?
We've got seven fabulous actors
Brilliant.
who come from various and very diverse backgrounds themselves, both personal, professionally and personal, and they've been an absolute joy to work with. They really have.
We'll come to the characters. How are you both feeling about the production? Are you enjoying yourselves? How's the lines going?
It's been great so far, yeah. Really enjoyed meeting everyone. Some of the team I knew beforehand already. We'd worked together before or done some training previously. So yeah, it was nice to get to know everyone and get to know my own character and everybody else's character as well. Delve into their lives a little bit more and gradually become them, isn't it? That's what we aim to do. But yeah, it's been really good, exciting so far.
I mean, likewise for me, this is my first sort of non-student part that I'm in, so it's quite exciting, terrifying. But I love the character. I love the interactions. I love that I'm getting to do a scene with Terry because we started at the same time, our little acting journey, didn't we? So
we did, yes.
This is a great venture. That literally it's 2 years since we started our acting journey.
Wow.
And here we are.
Here we are, yes.
Working together on
the
a
Moustache.
proper professional production. It's fantastic.
So this question is for both of you as well. What has been the biggest challenge for both of you when playing your roles?
I think playing a character that's neurodiverse, it's about understanding the subtleties in the pretext and the subtext that that we're given from the writer, and understanding where he's trying to come from and where the character's going with it, and trying to understand what aspects of his personality will come out in them parts of the conversation, so you can speak to different people, and obviously in real life you speak to different people with different tones, different attitudes and that kind of thing, and it's kind of, this guy has got no filter, so it's kind of, you'd think about speaking to someone in a certain tone, but this guy will just come out and speak to you however he wants to. He's got, as I say, there's no filter there. He's neurodiverse. He's not sure what he's going to say himself. He's super articulate, so he'll blow you away with his words, but then he'll be unsure of what's happening, next to him, kind of thing. There's a lot of change to him, definitely.
Brilliant. Excellent. And what about yourself, Michelle, with your character?
C's got a lot going on And one of the things that I said to Maeve at the beginning, I felt like there was a lot of parallels with the character because she's got a lot of issues and angst that goes on in her marriage. But my need to be needed, her need to be needed, it is reflected in my relationship with the character Dalibor because I'm in the working position where I'm interacting with him. And that's where you see the contrast of the me to the professional me and having to be able to reflect. Whereas in Terry's character, that's him with whoever he is. Yeah. But I have to make that real sharp change. So finding the dynamic, it's getting involved with the language. So you know that one of the things Maeve said, we've got to be able to identify that C in that scene is identifiable in that scene. And that's when you're trying to get that balance of, well, I know I am, but the audience needs to be able to identify that. And that's the thing that I've been working on. It's like understanding the characterisation of her so that people will identify, not just by the fact that I'm not changing.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it kind of rings true to real life with everyone as well. You know, everybody goes to work and puts this professional attitude on, you know, or does whatever they're doing during the day or evening, and then it's only you get a glimpse of their real personality, you know, especially if you don't know them really well, you know, so it's kind of getting that glimpse of someone's personality in the professional standard. That's what it's difficult to portray, isn't it? You've definitely got your work cut out with C. Green.
But with our scene, there's a bit of me, the personal C character, seeping in to that conversation. So there's a little bit of sort of seepage of the non-professional me, as it were, that comes in. But it's still very controlled. And again, the challenge of actually managing to do that and be believable, that's probably the biggest challenge for me.
Thank you. Thanks. So back to you, Merv, for a minute. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Bit of a cheeky question.
Oh.
Who's the funniest out of the cast?
Who's the funniest? None of them. I find them all quite depressive, if anything. Every single one of them brings a smile to my face. Honestly, and I'm not just like, you know, kind of fawning over them just to make sure that they behave themselves. But at the same time, everybody, I mentioned before about being so lucky to have this cast. Everybody brings something to the table, whether it's ideas, attitude, a real positive feeling towards the project itself, a really, really strong, good work ethic. Okay, now, you know, the guys mentioned before that, you know, this kind of world is I won't say new, but, you know, you've not been around as long as, say, certain other people, but definitely as long as me, sadly. Oh man, but I never get a sense of like, you know, well, they don't know what they're doing, or they're just like newbies or anything like that. You've already mentioned about professional attitude. Professional attitude is absolutely key to everything we do. Okay, and it's what elevates the whole project of any project from something else. It really, really does. And you can tell the difference. You really can tell the difference. The guys come here with their heads screwed on. They're here to work. They're here to find the characters. They're here to find the scene. They're here to listen. They're here to take on board as well, and they're here to contribute. And as a director, that's all you can ask. Now, I do like walk a different sort of path. My background is I am both actor and writer and director, so I can come from all those, and I bring all those my own experiences, both on stage and off stage, to it. They inform what I do, so I know the traps that I can fall into as a director by, you know, not explaining myself well, not being prepared if need be, you know, that I should be, not being able to answer questions, not being able to give people attention. That all, you know, directors can fall into those traps very easily, and as an actor I know how annoying that can be. So I desperately try as best as I can to avoid that and give everybody the attention that they need. Especially when you've got like 7 voices, plus lights, plus sound, plus a writer, you know. And speaking of which, by the way, we cannot not mention Ted.
Exactly.
Ted, because number one, if there's no script, there's no project. End of discussion. But what Ted brought Ted Gray, that is, folks. Ted brought to the project was a script that was so fresh. Okay, so fresh, so eye-opening.
Different.
And yeah, exactly. So and different. It was really really nice. That then to hand it to me and say, there you go, Merv, or in Ted's case, there you go, Merv. It's an absolute. It's a privilege. It's a huge responsibility on my part as well, and I pass that responsibility on to my actors as well, because they're the ones that the people will be seeing.
Exactly. Yep, massive responsibility, isn't it? So this is another question for you, Merv. Your actors and your casting. Is talent or training most important when you're deciding to cast a production?
It's never that clear cut, and if it was, then my life would be a lot easier. Oh, they've done loads to get them in.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't really work that at all. No, for me, it can come down to a bit of gut feeling. I'm suggested certain people's. I then go, I will go out myself and find people as well. A couple of the guys who are with us today, they were suggested to me by people whose opinions I respect, and I take that on board. And then what I like to do, I try not to have like an audition process with it. I try to avoid that if possible, because that can only give you so much, and actors have a habit of giving 100% at an audition. So when it comes to actually working on a project, it's never as good, or there's always slightly something lacking because they've already given you the best that they can do. And I tend to work a little bit on gut feeling as well. I get a real sense of, because it isn't just about ability, it's about attitude as well. And I mean, I met with these guys. We had a lovely drinkies, and we talked about everything in the world, which was nice. Got a bit of background, and sometimes you get a sense that, okay. But also sometimes I get a sense like with Michelle, you showed me videos, etc. I saw you in doing costume sort of period stuff, and I thought, right, okay, I need to get this person out of their comfort zone. I need to give them. They need to do something that's a little bit more of a challenge to them, because then they'll grow, and they've been growing, and it's been great. It's been Terence to you people at home, Terry to me.
You can call me Terry. That's
Okay. He embodies a character that can be seen as that could be a challenge, that could be that easily to slip into almost like a pantomime. But but through working with him, we've managed to stay away from that and make it more three-dimensional and, more importantly, real. Okay, but like I say, working with the guys has just been really, really good. I keep saying it's been a privilege, but every day they surprise me. Every day they surprise me in the best possible way. If I say do this, they do this, but they do it more. And they listen, and they really, really listen. And I'm going to make an announcement here. I'll be happy to work with them again.
Brilliant. Likewise, man. Oh.
But that's just me.
So I'm sure we're going to get Ted to have a chat at some point, aren't we?
Yeah.
But do you think that Ted has wrote this play from personal life experiences?
Ooh. Well, I can say for the record, some of it's not so much experience, but maybe things he's observed, people he may have known in life. Ted should get his own show. Ted has led an absolute, really fascinating life. He's not the only one who has, but at the same time, he's definitely got stories, plenty. This is not the only story for him to tell. If you want to base it on something from his background, But and I'll be absolutely fascinated, both as a creative person, or just as as an audience member. I'd watch that. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know.
What do you guys think? Unsure as well. I'll have to get Ted on more now.
Yeah, you definitely have to ask.
I did have a conversation with him actually, and he did kind of say a lot of the thought process that went into it. He got during lockdown, because for a lot of people, the world just, for everybody really, the world just stopped. So thinking time expanded for everybody, wasn't it? And for him, in a good way, because it was creative. You know, sometimes for other people, you know, now I've got too much time on my hands.
Yeah.
I don't want to be with myself for that much time. But, you know, he did say that a lot of the inspiration came during that period. So not necessarily that itself, but having that time to explore.
I know this is a tough question because you two are obviously going to love your characters, but do you three have a favourite character in the production?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I
Go
think,
on, Merv. Who's yours?
It's character who's not with us today actually, and it's Jerry.
Oh,
The character of Jerry's my favourite,
okay.
and that isn't a reflection on any other characters
Yeah.
at all. But no, because I like in real life, I like positive people.
Yeah.
I might not be one myself, but I like being with. I find it quite infectious. I find passionate people good to be around. You know, even if they're like passionate about cups of tea or trains or anything. I might not necessarily be interested in what they're interested in, but their actual enthusiasm, I find quite uplifting. It's nice to be. And we have a character who is very much like that. And to me, they're the only ones I kind of like. I'd hang with you.
Yeah.
I'd probably hang with most of them except maybe two of them, but we won't spoilers. But at the same time, I just find that their enthusiasm as a character a really nice thing, and it's nice, especially living in this cynical world that we live in, where everything's like a rainy day, or it's nobody makes plans because it will rain, because it'll be horrible tomorrow. You know, they're just this character of Jerry is very much the kind of like the antithesis.
Nice and positive.
Yeah, absolutely, and real, not like a kind of like blind to the facts or anything like that. They actually are. You know what? No. We don't need to be like this. We could be like this. Okay, if you want to be, and that's my. I don't say favourite character because I like them all, but that's.
It's tough,
but in terms of like, who would I? In real life, which one would I'd definitely say, yay, it'd be Jerry, yeah.
Go on, Terence, who's yours?
I think it has to be Barry, just sitting there and watching the rehearsals and all that, it's just something about his character and the way that Mark portrays him that just touches me every time, do you know what I mean? I don't want to give no spoilers away, but, it's kind of... He touches parts that other things cannot reach. I don't know if you can say that on a podcast. You know what I mean? But he does. It touches my heart with some of the stuff that he's saying and the way that he gets it over. And no matter how many times I hear the same words coming out of his mouth, I still get that emotional. That rush of endorphins. From what he's saying and how he's delivering it. So I think for that reason, that'll have to be my favourite. But I am fond of Eddie as well. I mean. He's played by Ted Grant, who's my hero in the acting world, So to be with him in a play is kind of like it's kind of an achievement for me because it's kind of like I've watched him, since I started acting, and I've kind of like tried to follow in his footsteps. So Make It Right, for instance, I never knew about this place until he introduced me to it. I kind of follow in his footsteps, and he's kind of been a mentor in a way. So to act with him as well has been a great pleasure.
From what I have seen of the character of Eddie, I think he has to be my favourite. Him or Dalibor, I'm unsure, but when I see the production, I'll decide. Michelle, who's your favourite character?
Probably Eddie.
Yeah.
Because if anybody's going to make you squirm, he is the guy who's going to do it. But the feeling of comedy that kind of breaks it up a little bit. I don't have a particular favourite, but it's a lot of the lines that different people say absolutely crack me up. Brilliant. And just like Terry said then, it doesn't matter how many times you hear it, as everyone's developed the characters, the comedy or the irony or the pain is coming out more. In my conversations that I have with Dalibor, it took me ages to actually understand certain parts of the conversation, what he was actually saying, because I was just reading it one-dimensionally. Yeah. And when you read it and go, wow, we're actually having a really deep conversation here. It's not about the lines. Took a step back thought about what we were really saying, and that's the crux of it. Because you can't, it completely changed how I spoke to him.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I got the understanding properly from in between all his fine language and you know, there's special ways of delivery, and there's only so many different names he can call his probation officer, but he finds a way. But my favourite thing of all is the delivery of some of the lines in the play.
It sounds absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to see it. A quick question before we finish up.
Oh, okay.
How do you guys think the audience will be feeling on the way home after seeing the show? Will they be happy? Will they be sad? Will they be blown away?
I would.
Or what are you hoping for?
What I'm hoping for, I could never in a billion years. Look, I've been performing, writing, performing, directing, all together, on and off for about coming up to 36 years now. It's a long, long time. And in all that time, one thing I've learned is you can never know. You can never know. All you can hope for is, number one, they get it. They get it. They absolutely get it. Ideally, I would like people to start getting into conversations, asking questions that were raised within the show, questions that can come about because they've seen the show, okay, about the themes, etc. Beyond just, oh, I really like that show, or etc. That's really great and everything.
Yeah.
I get all that, but if it gets people talking, yeah, it's a bit of a cliche, but it's true. Okay, we're not here to change the world. We can't change the world. All we can do is to nudge it in certain directions, and that's to get people thinking. That's the number one thing, is to get people thinking, get people talking to each other. Okay, get them to step out of their comfort zones, etc. Thinking about things that they've never thought out before, or seeing it with a maybe slightly more of an empathic sort of view.
I think the difficulty is as well, sort of when you've got such a new concept, as it were, in terms of the fact that it's a series of conversations that, interlinks all the characters, because maybe there will be people who like to go and see things that have a beginning, a middle and an end.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, each one in itself has a beginning, a middle and an end, but a very open beginning and a very open end. And the idea is it leaves you wondering.
Yeah.
And that's what you want the thought provoke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just to kind of nudge the thought process. So a little bit more, and lead to a brighter day. But it's true. It really is true. And through the actors, the characters are very, very three-dimensional. This is not a fantastical piece. Okay, this is not set in some sort of fantasy or whatever. It's a reflection of reality, of a world hopefully that everyone can recognise. Okay, and like I say, it does require a little bit of openness and acceptability as an audience member, and say, okay, I'm not going to give too much away in terms of even the concept and how it looks, but by scene 2, they'll get it. Because that's okay, and that is by design, by the way. We were talking. I was talking to other actors about that last week. About the first 2 scenes are the most, in terms of the creative process. The first 2 scenes for me, as director, are the most important, because they completely set everything else in motion. And without those 2, once the audience gets it, and they will, okay, because it's not that difficult for them. Okay, they'll go with it. They'll run with it. And then you want them along for the ride. You absolutely want them along for the ride. You don't just want them to be sat there completely passive. Right, come on, entertain me. No, you want them. You want them to want it to work. And you can only, and as a director, the only thing I can do is to just encourage and coax true performances out of my actors. Okay, and as I said before, we've got such an incredible mix of performers, all from different backgrounds, all from different sort of personal and professional backgrounds. We have actors who've been around for a fair few years, like myself. We've got some newbies. But fingers crossed, the audience will never know the difference.
Brilliant.
And and it's great. They ask questions, which is really good. I want actors to ask questions. What about this? What about that? Have you thought of this? Can I try this?
That's really good.
You know, as opposed to just sit there. Okay. You know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Are there any triggers that the audience needs to be aware of?
Well, I mean, there are serious themes. There are quite a few adult, very recognisable things that do happen in it. We discuss. What do we look at, folks? Come and help me out here. We have, we do cover things such as within into relationships. We have things like domestic violence is alluded to. We have
Gender identity, diversity, neurodiversity as well, paedophilia, aggression, violence. We've said that one, haven't we?
Yeah. Okay.
Allu-
So they are there and they are front and center as well. We have, in our advertising, etc. We are making it aware. If that is an issue for some people, just simply go, "Oh, please do not attend." If it's going to okay. But at the same time, if you want to feel challenged or challenge yourself if need be, please do come and see it. Please do come and see it. Okay.
Definitely. And so, Passing Moustache is on the 1st and 2nd of March at Hope Street Theatre. You can get your tickets from TiicketQuater. And please like and subscribe to Make It Right at the Studio Below on Facebook. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
I really
you.
appreciate that, and I cannot wait to see the production.
Thank you.
Sounds
very much.
exciting.
Yes, come and see it. It's going to be amazing.
Come and see it. Tell them, folks. Go on. Do your job.
Definitely,
Come and see it.
Come and see it. Come and see it.